So now let's proceed to our next chapter on Power BI, which focuses on data transformation and cleaning of the data. So if you have not yet loaded your data, what you want to do first is to open your Power BI platform. Then from there, you want to go to the Home tab. So currently we're on the Home tab. There's also Insert, Modeling, View, Optimize, and Help. But you want to be on the Home tab. Then you would then need to click on Get Data, depending on what your data type. For this course, we're focusing on Excel. So you would then select Excel. You would then have to select your file within your local folders or wherever you have saved it, navigating to that, and then you click Open. Then after that, you would then go to the navigation window to be able to select the relevant table within your Excel file. So your tabs within the Excel file are the tables that you would need to select to say, this is the table that I need to be loaded on my Power BI app or report currently. So once you have your data loaded, you would then go to the next step, whereby you then have to transform your data. So what you want to do first, you want to hover over here under queries. There's transform data. If you click on that, we then want to go into transform data. So we've already loaded our data on. So from the previous video or the previous chapter, you can then have a look at the previous chapter as well to see how to load your data. So this is our data. As you can see here, it has columns. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. One column speaks to customer ID. The next column is the gender. The next is age. Another one is monthly income or spend of the customers within this data file. What is best whenever trying to clean your data is first to have a look, do I actually have any duplicates? So what you want to do, you want to come over here to say to reduce rows. When you click on that, you can click on remove duplicates. When you click on remove duplicates, it will then essentially remove any duplicates within your data. So that's the first step that you want to do. You want to first remove any duplicates. Then also you want to also handle any missing values. So for example, if there wasn't so here we've clicked on this number 50 or age 50. If it was blank, so you would then need to decide in your data, this is age, but it's important information for an analysis. So if it's not correct and you can't really fill it in, you then have to remove the row as well. So you can also come to remove the row. So you can just say remove either blank rows, or you can remove the top row, whichever row that you've selected that you want to remove. So that will be pertaining if you had any spaces within your data or any blanks. Another instance as well would be if there's any null values. So null values, you would see if it had a null. So here we have income. For example, we had another data type that wasn't part of that. You would then get a null value. Also similar to blank values, you would then decide to either fill it in if it's something that you would be able to fill it in, or you would then have to delete that row in essence, so that you have clean data and make sure that your data is correct at all times. And then the last thing that you want to do within cleaning your data, you then want to look at your data types. So you want to come over here. There's this tab here that says transform. When you click on data types, for example, we've clicked on customer ID. As you can see, it lists the customers from number 1 until the end. So over here, this is essentially a whole number. As you can see, it's a whole number. For instance, what if this was a percentage? We would then click on percentage, and then it would then change to percentage. But however, we want this to be a whole number. So we would then say, you want to replace current, then you say yes, then it gets back to whole number. So you can do it for variety. For instance, here as well, it's currently showing as a whole number. And then what we actually wanted to be, for example, we wanted to show, it could have a decimal, and then let's say we wanted to have a decimal. Then we'll then click on that. Let's put a fixed decimal as well. So you would then have fixed decimals showing over there. So in essence, this is how you go about cleaning your data. So this is a step before you get into analysis or visualization, which is quite important in any data analysis project, whether you're using Power BI or any other methodology, either using Excel, PowerPoint, or any other type of analysis tool. But part of the basic steps is to first transform and clean your data, make sure it's the correct format that you want to use going forward.